Hello viewers, welcome to the studios of newskarnataka.com and especially students and their parents. This series is for you. This series is called Career Guidance with Professor Ronald Pinto. Let me give you a small introduction. Cars are being without drivers. Airplanes are being flown without pilots. There are no more clerks. Everything is in the cloud and it is on artificial intelligence. The jobs are changing. The job market is changing. But almost 2 million students answered the CBSE boards this year. Another 10 lakh in various others like medicine, engineering and CA exams. Now what is their future? What are the career options available to them? These are questions that every parent asks, every student asks. What should I do after the 10th standard? It's anxiety mounting for every parent as soon as the exams approach, especially the 10th boards. Recently, the government has announced the introduction of the new education policy, and that has opened up a vista of opportunity. But it's also confusing because it's the first year. Lots of opportunities, but very confusing for the student, for the parents. And that is why this series, it's called Career Guidance with Professor Ronald Pinto. With me in the studio is Professor Ronald Pinto, the director of the Institute for Individual Development, Mangaluru, which conducts training programs for teachers, students, and parents. Now, Professor Ronald Pinto has been conducting these programs all over Karnataka, in fact, all over India also, and he has trained more than 1,000 students on how they should focus on their careers, what they should do for their careers, which line of study they should take. He has been also guiding students on the NEET, on the JEE, and all the competitive exams that you have in India. So he is a veteran of this particular subject. Earlier, he was the vice principal of the St. Aloysius College, the 141-year-old prestigious college of Mangaluru, and in fact of Karnataka, and let's say India too. And he has taught the subject of chemistry for the last 35 years. All in all, he is the right man to guide all of you students on your career paths. But let me just begin by asking Professor Ronald Pinto about his experience of helping students choose a line of study and also a career. What's been your experience over the last 40 years?
Hi friends, I was the first in Mangaluru to start career guidance on a large scale about 40 years ago. In fact, I passed my IAS exam in the first attempt in 1980. We had a rector called Father Prof. He told me all Mangaluru people should pass IAS, go to all colleges like St. Agnes, Roshni, Besant, Canara. So I went to all the colleges and gave a program how to pass competitive exams like IAS, NDA, KS, and so on. And there is no looking back. From that year onwards, I went to all colleges, not only for competitive examinations, but about higher studies, to high schools, to PUC colleges, degree colleges, postgraduate students. Even though I'm a chemistry professor, my first love is career guidance. And I have been giving these programs for so many years. Almost every school, every college of Dakshina Kannada, Udupi, and South Karnataka I have covered. It's a great pleasure to continue a program called Career Series under the News Karnataka. And Brian is my close friend and he has taken a lot of efforts in organizing this series. I'm very sure if you carefully listen to this series, almost everything will be clear for you. And later we are giving our email and also Facebook ID. You can ask us anytime. I don't mind because I'm getting every day at least 100 questions on the Facebook. Sir, I want to become a pilot, I want to go for IAS, I want to become police officer, or I want to actually go for merchant navy. Any questions? not only in science, commerce, arts, any field are welcome.
Yes, we are going to cover everything, right from how to plan your career, which is going to be the first episode, and we're going to begin in just a minute. But we're going to cover everything from medicine to engineering to the other options beyond medicine and engineering, which are the most common options nowadays. We have the arts, and there are so many opportunities opening up in India, and especially with this new education policy, you have lots of options. But our first episode will be career planning. And I would like to begin by asking Professor Ronald Pinto, what is the difference between a job and a career?
Brian, it's a very good question because almost everywhere students are asking, sir, what I should do, what I should actually take after my 10th PUC. That's why I got a good tagline, become what you should, not what you want. I really congratulate Brian to have a very nice tagline, become what you should. Actually, a job means only money. For example, driver of a night bus, just observe him, all are sleeping, he only is driving. Sometimes feeling what this fellow is doing whole night, poor fellow. Look at the construction worker in the Gulf during the summer. In the hot sun, he is working alone for his family for earning money. On the contrary, look at a teacher. She or he may get only 10,000, but they are so happy. Recently, I was in Bantwal conducting a program for the teachers. That day, one teacher was about retiring, that day only. Asked Madam, do you want to become a doctor, engineer, lawyer, journalist in the next both? She said, sir, no, I want to become only a teacher because when I come to school, look at these angels, I find heaven. Whereas if I would become doctor, engineer, I will never get this type of satisfaction. So a career is one where you get satisfaction and salary both, whereas a job is one where only money is counting. So dear parents, students, you should think first about a career and not a job.
Now we are very clear about that, students and parents. We are very clear about it, and we have an angel with us who has been teaching for the last 40 years. But at the time of the 10th standard boards, sometimes before that, sometimes a little after that, there is one buzzword going around called aptitude tests, and some people have, many students have written into me when we publicize this series about aptitude tests. What are these aptitude tests, and are they really necessary?
There was a time when in India, people used to go after 10th PUC, after PUC degree, after degree post-graduation, and then later apply, no reply. It was because they have chosen the careers without finding what exactly is their aptitude. But slowly time is changing, and now people have found out, like foreign countries, right at the early stage, you find out your aptitudes in 10th standard, whether you are suited for science, commerce, arts. In PUC, if it is science, whether you are good for medicine, engineering, other courses. If you are taking commerce, should you go for company secretary, chartered accountant, or BCom, BBA, and so on. For this, only just talking no use. You have to conduct what are your inherent strength skill tests. So these skill tests conducted by a trained career counselor is called aptitude test. These tests are conducted all over India, even in Mangaluru. Prajna Council Center, you might have heard about Roshni, Saint Agnes, Saint Aloysius, wherever there are PG centers for psychology. So the HODs and other lecturers conduct these tests. They're charging about 500 to 1,000 rupees for 3 hours. But they're worth because the tests are conducted in such a way, whatever inherent strength you have, all these are exposed. And later with the parents and the child, there is a talk about half an hour, 1 hour. What are your strengths? You cannot simply say, I want to become a doctor. There are many other careers possible. So they will tell you what are the real career, your strengths. So these aptitude tests are conducted at 10th standard level, at PUC level to find out your inherent strengths. I feel it is a must, whether you are in a village or in a city. If you do these tests, you really find out what exactly is suited for you.
Just one follow-up question on that, Professor. Suppose I want to be a doctor. That's my personal desire. But the aptitude test that I take and the career counseling that I undergo tells me that I'm not suited to become a doctor. Then what happens to me? What is my future? What is my psychological state? And how do I go forward?
Yeah, it's a very good question. There are many times where our ambitions, dreams are so many, but they really don't come true. Either you don't have money or you don't have enough marks for that. That's why a career should depend mainly on not only aptitude, but also employability and family background. Because many a time, the one particular career you might be having in mind, but you may not be able to get, then you also have to think about the others, especially employability. There are many, many engineers today who are unemployed. There are many graduates, postgraduates like MBA or MA, MSc who are unemployed. That's why you have to also think about some 2-3 careers right from SSLC. Okay, what if I don't get this, what next, what next? Instead of getting dejected and committing suicide and so on. Many people have done that who didn't get medicine or IITs and so on. You should have to have at least 2-3 careers in mind, and if not one, take the other one, take the next one, take the next one, and so on. But while taking, you should be very careful that you have to have aptitude also, at the same time employability also.
Thank you, Professor. But what factors should I consider? Let's say I'm a student at the 10th standard level. What factors at that age, what factors should I consider when I choose a career and a line of study?
Yeah, very good. See, our tagline is become what you should,
Correct.
not what you want. So many parents and relatives, friends say that you become a lawyer, you become a doctor, you become chartered accountant, good salary, go for merchant navy. Many people take up that, but later they are not happy because they were nearly not actually who should. Okay, they wanted, maybe their relatives wanted. So dear students and parents, 3 things you have to bear in mind. First, aptitude, that you have to find out because of your marks and your interest in the classes and your aptitude tests. Second thing is employability. That is very, very important. My youngest brother was a arts student. He did political science, first rank, but apply, no reply. Then later, he did B.Ed and he got a job. So today I am finding postgraduates in many disciplines, including science also, not getting employed. So should not actually think only about aptitude, should also think about the employability. And then your family's background. Suppose your father is a journalist, it is easy for you to continue that business. If your father is a lawyer or is a chartered accountant or is a doctor, there are family actually assets and family which one people who know them. So you can continue this. On the other way, suppose you are the only one person to become a doctor, chartered accountant or a lawyer. To succeed, it takes a lot of time and a lot of efforts. So these 3 things you have to bear in mind. First, your aptitude, then employability, and third, your family background.
Loyola Degree College, Bangalore, a prestigious institution run by the Jesuits of Karnataka. The institute provides an advantage of choosing between varied choices of subjects in commerce and arts. Being a Loyolite, experience modern teaching and learning infrastructure. Students of journalism have additional guided facilities in filmmaking, videography and photography. Coaching facilities provided for professional courses CA and CS. 3-day national media tour for journalism students and industrial visit for commerce students. Avail attractive scholarships for better learning. Be rest assured of your safety as the campus follows all COVID protocols. Mix and socialize with peers of multicultural backgrounds. Well-equipped library, multiple sports facilities and encouragement to extracurricular activities. Explore more about exciting careers and higher learning opportunities under the guidance of the placement cell of the college. Here, you not only get formal education, but you get education for life. Begin your venture of knowledge at Loyola Degree College.
Be the change by being at Loyola Degree College.
For online applications, visit www.loyolacollegeblr.com and call or WhatsApp at 94482 77758 or 9148229651.
Yeah, but the job market is changing tremendously and because of technology perhaps. Technology is rapidly changing. The geopolitical situation in the world is changing, and recently we had the pandemic. The style of work is changing. Now you're working from home. So things are changing rapidly. Now, which is the right age to choose a career? Like if I'm 16 or when I finish my SLC or my CBSE 10th standard, is it the right time to choose a career? Because over the next 5 years, we really don't know what changes will take place in the world, in the job market, in the employment market, in the industrial market. We really don't know. So what do you have to say about that,
Yeah.
Professor?
I have gone to many colleges like Roshanlea, Agnes, Besant and so on and asked final year students, what you want to become? Sir, we are not decided. They are in the final years and they are telling, we are not decided. A principal is telling, shout at these people. They are all now about to get married and they say we are not decided. Whereas if you ask foreign countries, in the 8th standard only they find out their aptitudes. They go to library, they go to internet, study the career, maybe acting, modeling, or maybe merchant navy, or going for cost management or chart accountants, like that. They do a lot of research work. I feel from 8th standard only one should find out what are the suitable careers for me by going through the internet, library and so on. Actually now in India also, in North India I find from 8th standard only people are targeting IAS, IPS or Army, Navy, Air Force officers, IITs. South India students are very intelligent, but unfortunately a place like Mangaluru and all, very few people are interested in IAS or Army, Navy, Air Force and so on. So in case we target our student at 8th standard level or high school, 8th, 9th, 10th, by 10 they should be ready. Okay, what are you planning next? I think that is the right age. High school level is the right age, and these programs should be conducted at the high school level. And we will have more actually such interactions in the future with the high school students. I am getting a lot of questions from the high school students. Or now only I want to become commercial pilot, or between the commercial pilot and Indian pilot, the top Air Force pilot, what's the difference, like that. Now only you try to find out and then plan. At least 2-3 careers you have to take in mind and then choose after 10th.
Related question, actually 3 questions combined into one. Let's say you're in the 10th standard. And which kind of student should go for a science stream? Which kind of a student should go for a commerce stream? Which kind of a student should go for an arts stream? These are questions that will always rise at the time of the 9th standard and there onwards, in the parent's mind, in the student's mind. So what guidance can you give to our students who want to choose their stream, especially in the PUC, after the 10th standard, whether it's science, commerce or arts or any other?
This is a really very good question, because whenever we have meetings, parents and students, the principal arranging such a meeting together with the parents, that is after 10th, who should go for arts, commerce, science. It seems there is a fight between the child and the parents. Parents say you become a doctor. Child says I want to go for acting, or I want to go for modeling, I want to go music, I want to go sports. But parents are not agreeing. And many times because of the parental pressure or peer pressure or neighbors' pressure, people take up, but later they don't become successful. So my experience shows, by conducting programs for 10th standard level for so many schools, a student is very good in science, not marks, but aptitude, interest. He loves while reading, revising for the exam, science and maths, and scores are about say 60%, 70%. Then such a student can think of science. Now, there are some students who don't like science at all, maths, physics, chemistry, they don't like, but would like to become chartered accountant, company secretaries, lawyers, accountants, or maybe cost management, or personnel, or some people are good in HR, human relations, or maybe finance, marketing, logistics, or simply a degree, okay, commerce degree, and go for commerce careers. Such students should go for commerce. And it is wrong thing to tell that arts is the worst. Not true. All over the world, highest number of students go for arts. All over India, highest number of students go for arts. Even in Karnataka, North Karnataka have gone many districts. Arts 3-4 batches, commerce 2 batches, science half batch. Only in Mangaluru and in Bengaluru, they have heavy rush for science students. This should change. And people should find out that arts also has enough careers, commerce also has careers, science also has careers. Now let me come to arts. Who should go for arts? Those who are planning civil services like IAS, IFS, Indian Economic Service and so on. Those who are planning psychology, we want to become a psychologist. Those who want to become journalists like our brand, okay, famous journalist if you want to become. Or English literature, today big demand for English literature is there. I have not seen any person who is very good in English and unemployed. A doctor may be unemployed, engineer may be unemployed, but English MA literature and who is what I should say excellent in communications can never be unemployed. Even teaching, then music, dance, sports, there are so many umpteen careers, even humanities. We are going to take up one session like that, especially to encourage our students not to worry about the arts, because one girl from Coorg has written to me, sir, I have completed my BA, I am jobless, I want to commit suicide. Actually, she is not knowing after BA what can be done, where there are good careers, modern careers, she does not know. So this way, after 10th, if you are good in science and maths, take up science. If you don't want those courses, but would like to go for specialized courses like marketing, finance, HR, accounts, and all, go for commerce. And like this, other courses, teaching, then sports, music, dance, journalism, psychology, and becoming a teacher, okay, go for arts.
Actually, Professor, I am a prime example of confusion at that stage. After my 10th standard, I did my science in PUC, and then I realized that this is not for me. I mean, I was pretty okay with that, but it's not for me. I was more into the humanities and the arts, and I shifted to an arts course. I did my degree in arts, and then, strictly speaking, I was good at human relations, so I joined the MSW at Roshni.
Yeah.
So it's a career that has spanned. It's a line of study that has spanned all the streams. But today I'm very happy. Coming back to the subject, I've got a question here from one of our viewers. He or she asks, can we go for job-oriented courses after our 10th standard instead of PUC? What are the options available to us?
Actually, PUC is not meant for all students. Only in Karnataka people are doing for PUC. PUC stands for pre-university course. To go for a degree like BA, BSc, BCom, we go for PUC. But other countries, even in other places like Mumbai, where my all brothers and sisters are there, nobody goes for PUC. After 10, they go for job-oriented courses. It is a 1-year course or 2-year course in ITI. Okay, Industrial Training Institutes, where you can become a beautician or a data entry operator, welder, turner, fitter, or modeling, acting. These are all 1-year or 2-year courses, which are really very, very good. Work 1-2 years here and go abroad. Tremendous demand. For example, a beautician, just a 6 months course, work 1-2 years here and go to say Dubai or Singapore. Beautician is earning much more than a doctor or a lecturer. True. What about a carpenter? Principal of a college told me for interior decoration they want so many today good carpenters, and carpenter is paid per day 2,000 rupees, whereas others are not paid. So that is a job-oriented course. And similarly, we have now 3-year diploma courses called polytechnics. We have so many polytechnics. Later, we have a separate session on this. In this polytechnic, they are giving you 3-year diploma courses like mechanical engineering, civil engineering, then electrical engineering, computer science engineering. I have built a house near Milagris Church, and you know who is the person? He is polytechnic civil engineer, but he has built 1,000 houses in Mangaluru, including my house. My house only nearby, he has built 20 houses, and his construction is much better than MTech in civil engineering. So the just diploma in polytechnic is as good as your degree with experience. My one more cousin who actually failed in PUC but took up mechanical engineering, today he is in foreign country doing extremely well because of experience in the field of his subject, mechanical engineering. He is tall, good looking, very good in mechanical, what I should say, marketing and so on. From India he has gone to Brazil, from Brazil to America, he has become very successful. So there are many students who don't like theory and all, like practicals. I am suggesting after 10th, say goodbye to all the theory subjects, go practical oriented courses of 1 year, 2 years, 3 years in ITI, Polytechnic. Job demand in Mangaluru only. You go to a MCF or MRPL and all, they don't want engineers. They don't want people like MSc like me, but they want local people who have done their Polytechnic or ITI courses. And my house is, actually parent house is near Bajpe. All my neighbors are employed in MRPL or MCF or our BASF and all because of their local origin and this technical background we call job-oriented courses.
Because there are, I think, lots of opportunities with the NEP now. I think the system of education will change from certificate to diploma and then a degree, so you can leave at any time and then pursue your career. But coming back to the last question that I have here, and for this episode of career planning, which is the best career? Now, I'm sure when you say these are the best careers, everybody will jump and say that, no, I want to do that. But they may not be suited for that. But let's just tell our viewers which are the best careers.
Strictly speaking, there is nothing like a best career. For example, between daddy and mummy, who is the best? Difficult to say. So we cannot compare even a carpenter or a beautician can earn very well. But then normally, which are the highly sought after careers when I go to different schools, colleges? In science it is medicine, engineering. These are the two highly sought after careers. In commerce it is CA and MBA. These are the highly sought after careers. In arts, modern art subjects like journalism, psychology, English major. These are the three highly sought after careers.
Okay, so that's a wrap on our first episode, viewers and students and parents. I hope you have listened carefully. If you have not listened carefully, it's available on our YouTube and Facebook page, and you can always go back to it and refer. Whenever you have a doubt, you can write into Professor Ronald Pinto and he will guide you. You can call him and also talk to him, and then if you need career counseling, you can always get in touch with him. So that's a wrap on our first episode of career planning, and please do plan your career. It's not like the olden days where you just drift along. Today, you have to plan your career in advance and you will become, as Professor said, what you should. Thank you.